Hello, everybody. My name is Raji Rajagopalan, and I'm an engineering manager in Windows and Devices Group. My team builds this amazing tool called Windows Analytics, which we are about to talk about today. And this is my colleague, Raymond.
Hey, my name is Raymond Ananiwu. I'm a software engineer in the Windows and Devices Group.
Raymond, do you remember what you were doing 19 years ago?
I think I was in junior high. I believe I was in junior high at the time.
Well, Eddie Leonard knows what he was doing 19 years ago. Eddie is a customer of ours. Eddie, the first time I met Eddie was in Ignite. This is a large IT Pro conference, a Microsoft IT Pro conference. He came up to me, to my booth, and he shared with me his experiences being a Windows Analytics customer. 19 years ago, Eddie just started working for his company. It's a large financial institution, and Eddie at the time was helping his team upgrade from Windows 95 to Windows 2000. The world, you see, was very different back then. Only 4% of the world was connected to the internet, and Eddie had to do a lot of manual things. See, Eddie was in the world of classic IT. So what is classic IT? Classic IT is a world where every user has a single device. A lot of the applications and the device itself is owned by the business. And there's a lot of corporate network and legacy apps in your environment. And many things that IT pros like Eddie did was manual, reactive, and very high touch. So what we want IT pros to be in is the world of modern IT. In modern IT, a single user has multiple devices. And the apps and the device are both owned by the business and the user together. There's a lot of cloud-managed apps, there's a lot of web apps, and there's a lot of software as a service app. And the things that an IT pro is supposed to do are proactive and automated, and there's a lot of self-service in play. And in order to empower a modern IT world, data-driven insights are a core part of modern IT. And this is where Microsoft 365 comes into play. Microsoft 365 is a complete, intelligent, and secure solution that is a combination of Windows 10, Office Pro Plus, and Enterprise and Mobility Suite. And in a Microsoft 365 powered device, you have intelligent security built in. A Microsoft 365 device is easy to deploy and manage and is always kept up to date. How do you do that? You need tools, right? And this is where Windows Analytics comes into play. So Windows Analytics, what is it? Windows Analytics is a combination of three solutions: Upgrade Analytics, Update Compliance, and Device Health. These are all solutions that surface important data-driven insights to our IT Pro customers. Upgrade Analytics is the solution that you would use to upgrade your machines from Windows 7 to Windows 10. Update Compliance is the solution that you would use to stay current on Windows 10, make sure that you're compliant with all feature updates and security updates. And Device Health is the solution that you would use to make sure that your devices are running healthy, that they're not crashing, they're not hanging, they're healthy. So this is what Windows Analytics is, and I will be demoing Windows Analytics a little bit later. But before we go into the demo, let's look at the high-level data flow in Windows Analytics. As you see, there is an IT admin, and it all starts with the IT admin. The IT admin has complete control of what the telemetry flow looks like. He sets his telemetry level, and once this telemetry level is set, data starts flowing to the Microsoft Cloud. And from there, it goes into our OMS log analytics backend, and from there, the visualizations that empower Windows Analytics are built. So this is the high-level workflow, and then let's quickly switch into our demo. In order to sign up for Windows Analytics, please go to http://aka.ms/windowsanalytics. It's a free service. The website will walk you through exactly what you need to do in order to sign up for the service. So once you sign up, you end up on a dashboard like this. And on the dashboard, you need to do a couple of things to set up the workspace right. So for doing that, click on this gear icon over there, and you see a page like this. Step number one is you need to install solutions. So click on Solutions. Here you see 4 solutions already installed. And if you don't see any solutions installed, click the Visit the Gallery link, and you search for the solution that you want to install. In this case, you want to search for Upgrade Readiness or Update Compliance, Device Health, and you install those solutions. After you install the solutions, click on Connected Sources. And the first thing you want to do there is go to Windows Telemetry tab. And here you see the How to Enable Telemetry button. You click on the How to Enable Telemetry button. It walks you through a series of steps on how to properly enable telemetry for using Windows Analytics. It also walks you through documentation on what exact events are being collected. This could be very important for getting through your compliance reviews and very, very transparent about exactly what events are being collected, so you want to look at that. The second thing of note here is the commercial ID key. You see this is a GUID that you see in the screen. You want to copy that. You want to stamp it on all your devices across your enterprise, and you do that using group policy, you do that using SCCM, whatever is your tool of choice. So now Windows Analytics Workspace is ready to use. So let's go back to the dashboard and click on the Upgrade Readiness blade here. And you see a dashboard like this. In this case, this is a demo enterprise with 6,000 computers. And you see these are blades that you can just scroll through one after another. So the first one is Spectrum Meltdown. We'll talk about that a little bit. But then after that, it's step 1, identify important apps. Step 2, resolve issues. Step 3, deploy, and so on. So what are these steps? Let's see what a typical upgrade project looks like. Remember, upgrade readiness is the solution that you would use to upgrade from Windows 7 to Windows 10. In a typical upgrade project, and this we got these steps by talking to a number of our IT Pro customers. In a typical upgrade project, there are 4 steps. Step number 1, you identify the important apps in your enterprise. Step number 2, you figure out what the issues are with those apps and moving to Windows 10 or any other target build, and you resolve those issues. Step number 3, you deploy Windows 10 on those devices. And once you have deployed, step number 4, you monitor the health of your ecosystem. So this is typically what IT admins do when they do an upgrade project. And let's see how Windows Analytics helps with those steps, step 1, 2, 3, and 4, in these visualizations. So as you can see here, step number 1, identify important apps, right? So in the past, when Eddie was in the world of classic IT, he did all of these manually. He would go from department to department, person to person, gathering all the important apps because there was not a lot of ways for Eddie to collect this information. What are exactly the applications and drivers that are installed in his enterprise in an automated fashion? So he was in classic IT, a lot of manual steps. With Windows Analytics, this happens very quickly. So what happens is that once you onboard to Windows Analytics and you complete the onboarding, the setting steps, aka.ms/Windows Analytics, it automatically inventories the applications and drivers in your ecosystem. So in the case of this demo enterprise, you see that there are 21,000 applications. Imagine how painful it would be to collect 21,000 applications, inventory them manually, spreadsheet after spreadsheet, and merge them. Very painful, right? So with Windows Analytics, this is automated. You see it, 21,000 applications, but not just that. What I want to point out here is that you get a little bit more intelligence than just the 21,000 applications. As you can see, there are 781 applications that are in need of review. It's 21,000 total applications, only 781 that are in need of review. What happened there? So you see there is a low install count bucket that I have circled, and the low install count bucket is 19,700 applications. These are applications that are tool found on only less than 2% of your enterprise. These are not applications that are very widely used. So if you take the approach of, I want to prioritize my testing appropriately in an effective manner, these are low-risk applications, so you can prioritize them low and, in fact, not test them. In fact, that is what Microsoft recommends that you do. Really focus your testing and your effort on things that are going to be very, very important for your enterprise. So once you click on that low install count line, you get to a view like this. So there are a few things I want to point out here. Number 1, you see that there are all the applications. What are the applications that are installed in your enterprise? You immediately get the names of them, the publisher, the version, and so on. But not just that, you get what are the total installs, how many devices that particular application is installed on across your enterprise. What is the monthly active usage, right? Some applications are installed but not really used. So here you get the intelligence of not just how many machines that application is installed on, but how many is it actually being used on. So that is the thing number 2 the insight number 2 that I want to point out. But there is also a query language that you see up there. This is a very powerful thing that you get with Windows Analytics. Once you learn this query language, you can design your own heuristics, and you can bulk update a number of your applications to whatever state you want. So as I said, in Windows Analytics, the IT admin has a lot of control, right? So even though we have bucketed some applications as low install count, you don't have to take our word for it. You can go and say some applications are super, super important to your enterprise. So you can go and mark them as this is important, business critical, so it is not yet ready for upgrade. By default, all low install count applications are going to be marked as ready for upgrade. So the other insight that you see up on the screen is this thing called Ready for Windows. My colleague Raymond will talk about Ready for Windows in a bit, but this is the insight that you never used to get in the past without Windows Analytics. In the past, you knew what was happening in your enterprise, but now you also get, for every application that you have on your enterprise, what is happening in the wider commercial ecosystem. So here you can see there are some applications that are marked as adopted. That means that these applications are adopted in the ecosystem, in the commercial ecosystem outside your enterprise. More than a certain level of installs, we mark them as adopted. So that is what you see on the screen. That is step number 1. So moving on to step number 2. So Microsoft tests a number of applications, thousands of applications internally that are very popular in the ecosystem, every release that we have, right? So we want to make sure that as we release new versions of the operating system is compatible and robust. So we test thousands of applications, and we sometimes find issues, compatibility issues. In the past, we never had a way to surface this information, to share this information out to the wider world, to our IT Pro customers. With Windows Analytics, we have the opportunity to do that. So what you see in step number 2 in this blade is we have tested a number of applications, 96 of which intersect with this demo enterprises application list, and 96 applications actually have known issues that are known to Microsoft, right? But not just that, we just don't tell you there are issues that we have found with 96 of your applications, but we also give you guidance on how to fix those applications. So in this screen, you see that there is guidance provided, right? For this particular application, the issue is that the app is removed during upgrade, but no action is needed to proceed. So this is the kind of guidance that you want to know that application is going to be removed during upgrade. So you don't want to find out after you upgrade that the application is gone. So this insight is very powerful to have. In that particular step, the step number 2, to resolve issues, we also give you some more additional informational insights. Like here, you see that there are 41 low-risk applications in need of review. We mark them as low risk because we see that these apps already have an ISV support statement, or these apps through telemetry, we find that they are highly adopted or adopted. The same thing, we surface that information for drivers as well. So let's move on to step number 3. So you have inventoried your applications, you have identified issues in those applications, and you have resolved them. You have marked a number of your devices as ready for upgrade. So now you're ready for step number 3. Step number 3 is where you get Windows 10 bits deployed on your devices. How do you do that using Windows Analytics? There are a couple of different ways. You can, as you see in this blade here, a number of devices have already been marked ready for upgrade. Now you can go and export them into Excel, and you can import them into a management tool of choice like SCCM, and you can kick off the deployment there. You can also do that using computer groups, where you have defined a collection of computers in your SCCM, and that becomes visible in OMS, in your Windows Analytics dashboard, and you can use computer groups to go ahead and deploy as well. So once you have deployed, you want to monitor. So let's move on to step number 4. So now you have a number of machines that have Windows 10 bits on them. You have kicked off the deployment. And in this step, what you see is that you actually see deployment errors and deployment success. What are the computers where the deployment has been successful? And once you see deployment errors, you can drill down into them to see what were the deployment errors, right? The other thing that you see is the driver issues. So once you have Windows 10 on a machine and some driver doesn't start up or some driver doesn't load, you did not have the insight in the past. But now with this blade, you can see what are the drivers that did not start, what are the drivers that did not install, what are the drivers that did not load. So that is the information that you get in this blade. Before we move on to the next topic, there's a couple of other things that are very interesting in Windows Analytics to note. This is the user feedback blade. User feedback is when a user uses a Windows 10 computer, he or she can give feedback to Microsoft. It goes through our Feedback Hub tool and it comes to Microsoft, and Microsoft takes action on it. So now with Windows Analytics, you can scope that feedback to just your enterprise so you can see what is the experience of your users in your enterprise. So here, as you see, there are 8 pieces of feedback that your users have given, and you can click on the apps and games link there, and you get to a page like this. In this case, I want to highlight 2 pieces of feedback that this demo workspace has gotten. Number 1, ever since my computer got the last update, Edge has been loading pages much faster. Now that is awesome, right? But the next piece of feedback is not so awesome. Joining WebEx meeting is taking much longer than usual. So then the feedback is, well, this is not so awesome. But the thing that you notice there is that there are 5 total upvotes for that feedback. So this is not just an isolated incident, right? This is not just an isolated experience. Many people in your enterprise are experiencing this, but also you notice there that Microsoft response is that we have received your feedback and we are looking into this. So this is an entire feedback loop. Your user has Windows 10, he or she experiences a problem, they log a piece of feedback, it goes to Microsoft, but you're in the middle, you're connected, you know what exactly is going on. So this is very powerful information for you to have. The other piece of information, this is informational insight in Windows Analytics, is the top Office add-ins. So we know that a number of our IT customers use Office add-ins. And in the past, once again, you did not have a way for you to inventory all the Office add-ins in your enterprise. With Windows Analytics, you have this information. In this case, you see that there are 412 unique Office add-ins. So now you can use this information to say, what are the Office add-ins you want to test? What are the Office add-ins you want to make sure really works? Lastly, sites, web apps are also super important in an enterprise. So here you see an inventory of what are the active sites in your enterprise, what are the compatibility modes for these sites. So compatibility modes are important in order to understand how do you want to prioritize testing these sites as well. So this information is available to you handy now. So with that, let me hand off to my colleague Raymond for Ready for Windows demo.
User expectations are set by device-centric experiences. Complete product cycles need to be measured in months and not in years. Additionally, new releases must be made available on a continual basis and must be deployable with minimal impact on users. We've designed Windows 10 to meet these requirements. Windows as a service is our innovative approach to the development and the delivery of Windows. And the key to enabling a significantly shorter product cycle while maintaining very high quality is an innovative community-centric approach to testing that we have implemented for Windows 10. Some of you might know this community. They're called our Windows Insiders, and they comprise of millions of users around the world. When Windows Insiders opt into the community, they get to test many builds over the course of a product cycle, and they provide feedback to us through an iterative methodology called flighting. Builds distributed as flights provide the Windows engineering team with significant data regarding how well builds are performing in actual use. Leveraging telemetry data along with Windows Analytics and our insiders are a few of the ways that we ensure that our desktop apps, our websites, modern apps, hardware, and drivers are all compatible with Windows. From engaging with our commercial customers, we've heard that application compatibility is a key pain point during the Windows and Office deployment process. And what the Ready for Windows website does is it addresses this by listing software solutions that are supported and in use on the Windows 10 commercial devices and Office 365 applications. It's intended for IT managers at companies and organizations worldwide who are considering the latest version of Windows 10 and Office 365. It provides you the ability to search through the Ready for Windows directory to check if software solutions deployed in your organization are either supported by their software providers or if they're in use in the Windows 10 and Office 365 commercial ecosystem. Now let's have a look at the Ready for Windows website. In order to get to it, you go to aka.ms Ready for Windows, and we can see in the directory what applications are supported on Windows 10. The first thing we want to look at on this website is the bottom section where we've listed software categories, and you can see, for example, in the VPN category, if you wanted to find a VPN solution that you know is adopted on Windows 10 and is supported, you can easily see a plethora of options here across the various versions of Windows 10. One more thing that this website enables you to do is search the directory. Let's go ahead and look for Citrix Receiver in here. As you can see, Citrix Receiver is supported on Windows 10. And if we drill in, we're able to see the various versions of Citrix Receiver and the support statements for Windows 10. We can also see, we can also filter by the different versions of Windows 10 to determine what the support statement is for that specific application. You know, with all this talk of data, is there one more thing that we want to, talk about?
Yes, of course. Privacy. Privacy is very important. Why is it important? It's important to you. It's important to us. And we take it very seriously. How do we take it seriously? We have a number of privacy principles we abide by. Number one, all communication is secure. We talked a lot about data going to Microsoft Cloud, going to OMS, but all of this is secure and encrypted. Number two, I've been reiterating this throughout my talk today, control. You have, IT admin has complete control of what is the telemetry level, what is the data being sent. So that is very important, and it is by design we have built it in. Number three, we are very, very, very transparent. We have all the events that the Windows Analytics toolset sends to the cloud. All of that is documented. It's living documentation. We keep it updated. But not just that, there is the telemetry viewer tool, which you can download, and you can run it on your enterprise to see what exact events are being transmitted in real time. So privacy is very important to us, but let's wrap up. So what did we learn? Windows Analytics is the best tool to stay current, healthy, and productive on Windows 10. Number two, you need to use data to elevate your game. In the world of modern IT, data is very important. Use data to elevate your game. Number three, upgrade to Windows 10 using Ready for Windows and Windows Analytics. Become a Windows Insider. Super important. Become a Windows Insider. And please, please declare app support if you're a developer for Windows as a service. So thank you very much. There are some resources that are going to be available. Windows Analytics, Ready for Windows, all of that is up on the slide. Thank you. It was wonderful talking today.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yes.